What's up, baby? It's your girl T, the nappy-headed jojoba. Today's video is going to be all about my favorite face masks, as the title indicated. And this is just the result of a poll that I spontaneously added to my Shit I'm Loving Right Now video. If you've been watching my channel a little while, you already know that I'm more into skincare than anything. I got into skincare well before I started getting into makeup. I do love both now, but skincare is my first love. And I've gotten really into face masks in the past 2 years. I actually would say that I use a face mask almost daily, if not daily. It really kind of depends on how much time I have, but I like to do some sort of treatment for my skin as often as possible. I don't really go and get like professional facials. I try to just maintain my skin on my own at home. I'm going to try to do this kind of in categories and speed right through it because the fact of the matter is I talk too much and all my videos are way too long, so I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. But knowing me, I'd suggest you go ahead and get a snack right now because it's probably still gonna be a while. I'm gonna start off with mud-based masks because those are the most common. Now, of course, you can mix up your own masks. I like to do that from time to time. There are a lot of great mask recipes that I've learned about right here on YouTube. But most of the time, I don't do them because I have lots of commercial masks that I purchase and that I like, and it's just so much faster to just grab a tube of something and slather it on my face rather than having to mix something up every time I want to do a treatment. So I'm going to organize each category from least expensive to most expensive, and for the least expensive of my favorite mud-based sort of clay masks is this from Botanics. It's the Ionic Clay Mask Shine Away, and I really like this one because it's got a nice thin, smooth texture. It's really easy to apply and really easy to rinse. A lot of mud masks are very heavy and thick, and it feels like you're rinsing for half an hour just to get it all off of your face. That is not the case with this one, so I really like it for that. Next up is the Miracle Skin Transformer Miracle Revival Mud. This one is more of a high-end brand of skincare and cosmetics, but I really like this mask because it is fragrance-free, and it really does a nice job of doing the cleansing from the mud without leaving my skin feeling tight or stripped afterwards. It's sort of like a more nourishing mud mask than one that sort of like leaves you feeling like, oh my god, I need to put lotion on my face immediately. Next is the Irish Moor Mud from Peter Thomas Roth. I really like this one for almost the same reasons as I like the Miracle Mud Mask from Sarah McNamara. They're both very moisturizing mud masks. I would say this one is actually more moisturizing than the Sarah McNamara one. I should mention my skin type is oily, so it's not like my skin is always thirsty for moisture, but I have found that over the past 1.5 to 2 years, as I've focused on giving my skin plenty of moisture so it's not dehydrated, my skin is behaving more normally than oily. So even though my skin type is oily, it behaves normally now thanks to the skincare routine that I have set up. And if you want to know more about my skincare routine, I have an entire playlist. I'll link it right here, and it shows you basically my whole skincare philosophy plus tips for any skin type, as well as my morning and evening skincare routines. The last of the mud masks is the Way Golden Root Purifying Mud Mask. It actually comes in these little pots, and these little pots last a long time. The mask is quite expensive. Pick it up from Sephora or somewhere during a sale if you can. That's what I did. That's what I always do. I will always buy something on sale rather than paying full price. The one thing I don't like about this mask is that it's got quite a bit of fragrance in it, and you can tell when you are putting it on. It's very heavily fragrant. But rather than putting it all over my face, I tend to like this one for spot treatments. If I get a zit, I love to just put it right on that spot and leave it on overnight. It does a good job of staying put even after sleeping, and in the morning I just wake up, rinse it off, and the zit usually is much smaller, if not gone, by the time I rinse it off in the morning. So I like it a lot. This one's in a category by itself, but this is the Ultra Repair Instant Oatmeal Mask from First Aid Beauty. First Aid Beauty is a really cool line because their entire line is fragrance free, so thumbs up for that. But I like this mask if my skin has been irritated for some reason or another. You know, maybe I've gotten my lady mustache threaded or something. This is really good if I'm seeing redness or inflammation. I'll just put this on because it's got oatmeal in it, and oatmeal is known to be a very calming substance for skin irritation. So I like it for that, and I use this one just whenever I need it to calm my skin down. It's not one that I just go to, you know, on a random day. Moving on to brightening masks. If you've watched any of my skincare videos or just seen any videos where I'm not wearing makeup, you've seen that I have pretty intense hyperpigmentation, particularly down here on my chin and where my lady mustache is. So brightening is a pretty important part of my skincare routine. So let's get into some of my favorite brightening masks, again going from least expensive to most expensive. The first one is called La Original Concha Nacar de Perlop. I'm sure I butchered that, but basically I was afraid of this mask at first. I heard about this on, I think, like a message board for skincare of some sort that I was on at one point, like years ago. Like, I've been using this mask probably for 5 years or longer. I was afraid of this one because it's like, once it's translated to English, they call it a bleaching mask, and I'm not interested in skin bleaching at all. But really what it is it just helps lighten the areas that have hyperpigmentation. Like, once I did more research on it and actually read the description, it's not really a bleaching mask. It just helps to lift those areas that have been darkened from past spots or hormonal or hyperpigmentation. And I feel like this mask might be my favorite mask, period, because it's a great price point. You can get it at CVS or Walgreens or Target, places like that. It's probably only $6 or $7, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I find it's very effective. You do have to leave this on for 30 minutes to an hour, and I do find that it can be a bit stubborn to rinse off, so I like to put this on when I know I'm going to be taking a shower. I'll put this on before my shower, about half an hour or longer before that, let it sit, and that way it's a lot easier to rinse it just under the shower head rather than in the sink where I feel like I'm splashing water for the rest of my life. It rinses off much more easily and quickly and cleanly right in the shower. So this is a really good one to just help even out that skin tone. I like to use this one the night before I have somewhere where I really want my skin to look its best. You know, if I'm going to a wedding or something like that, I like to use this one the night before to make sure that my skin is as prepped and as in its best shape possible, so that once I put my makeup on, I don't even need to use as much. Another brightening mask I like is by Clinique. This is the Even Better This is the Even Better Brightening Moisture Mask. This is the same one that I used in my morning skincare routine video. This is one that I picked up from Sephora during one of their sales because Clinique is another brand that is fragrance free. That's already just a good way to operate. And I think that this mask was a surprise for me because it's interesting. You apply it to your face, but rather than rinsing it off, you tissue it off after 5 to 10 minutes, I think. Yeah, 5 to 10 minutes. I like to use it in the mornings, typically when I'm doing my oil pulling. So, you know, I'll get my oil going, I'll slather some of this on, leave it on until it's time to spit out my oil, and then I'll go back to the bathroom, tissue this off of my face, brush my teeth, and proceed with my day. I really do feel like this does a nice job of actually brightening my skin, you know, at least temporarily. It'll kind of just like make my skin look brighter for the day. And I like the way it leaves my skin feeling because it is a moisture mask. And again, even though my skin type is oily, I find that this product, it just feels nice because once you tissue it off, it still sort of leaves your skin very plump and moisturized. So after I use this in the morning, I don't feel like I need to apply any additional moisturizer on top. I can just go right to my sunscreen and makeup if I'm wearing any that day. The next brightening mask that I like is from Peter Thomas Roth. It is the Brightening Bubbling Mask Radiance Oxygenating Treatment. This one, I will admit, seems a little gimmicky because the way it works is you pump some out onto your hands and you spread it all over your face, and immediately will start to bubble up and foam up on your face, and the little bubbles kind of like tickle, and it gets a little kind of like, it actually feels a little creepy. I do like this mask. I find that the thing I don't like about it is the actual application. I find that because it does start bubbling once it makes contact with your face, it's a little hard to get the application even because you'll miss spots, but you can't really get to them because the bubbles are like all over the place and sort of like blocking your ability to kind of get to the spots you miss. So I don't really like that, but I do find that when I use this, my skin really does look brighter afterwards. So this is another one where if my skin's looking dull, or if I want to make sure my skin is looking its best because I'm going to maybe be on camera at work, or I'm going to an event or something like that, I'll use this one to just give my skin that extra boost of brightness so that it doesn't look lackluster and sallow. Last in the brightening mask category is also from Peter Thomas Roth. This is the Camu Power C x 30 Vitamin C Brightening Sleeping Mask. That is too long a damn name. This is one of those sleeping masks. I feel like sleeping masks are also kind of a gimmick. It's like, okay, so it's a moisturizer. Like, it's not really a mask. It's just like a heavier moisturizer for nighttime, which is fine. But I really like this one because I do find that it leaves my skin looking brighter in the morning. It also leaves my skin feeling super soft and supple when I wake up. So I just, more than anything, I love the way this leaves my skin feeling for the morning. This one does have quite a bit of fragrance in it because you will notice it if you end up picking it up. It's very heavily scented, so that is a con. ton, but I like the effects. It does seem to help with brightening, and more than anything, it helps with the way my skin feels. It really leaves my skin feeling baby soft. The last category is sheet masks, and I have a few to show you. The first is the same one that I mentioned from my Shit I'm Loving Right Now Volume 1 video. It is the Too Cool for School Egg Cream Sheet Mask. Sheet masks are one of my favorite things right now. I've been playing with them for the past year or so, and I just love being able to put them on my face and then not have to worry about rinsing later. Basically, if you're not familiar, they're just kind of cloth masks that make you look like Hannibal Lecter, but they're soaked in some sort of serum or treatment. You leave them on anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes depending on the mask's instructions. And this is just one of my favorites. This is one of those masks where I actually felt like it made a difference in my skin. When it comes to masks, unlike things like moisturizers or serums or whatever, I feel like masks are meant to, or at least they should, provide sort of an immediate, noticeable, positive change in your skin. Other things, you have to use them for a few weeks or even months to really let them work on your skin, but I feel like masks are more for sort of an instant change, an instant pick-me-up in your skin, along with prolonged benefits with continued use. So I really like this one from the very first time I used it. I felt like my skin looked very refreshed and hydrated and just happy after I took it off. So love this one. Again, it has fragrance. I always try to shoot for things that don't have fragrance whenever possible, but most skincare out there does have fragrance, even though it doesn't make any sense. Unfortunately, this is, along with the other things I've mentioned, one of the things that has fragrance, but I still like it. This is also another inexpensive sheet mask. It's by Nature Republic, and it is the Real Nature Mask Sheet Royal Jelly. This one I actually learned about because my friend just put together a little goodie bag for me for my birthday, and she put one of these in there. And I loved it. I felt like it left my skin looking really nice and smooth afterwards. So I went ahead and just kind of searched for the name of it on eBay and found some more, and it's really inexpensive. I think I got 5 of them for probably around 10 bucks or so. So this is a good one. If you manage to find this on Amazon or eBay or wherever, give it a try. It's meant to provide nourishment and reduce wrinkles. And it's a good sheet mask. I like it. Again, it does have fragrance, but what are you gonna do? Last but not least is the Brightening Sheet Mask from Farmacy. This is a brand you can get at Sephora. That's where I got mine during the sale, of course. It's a hydrating coconut gel mask with Echinacea Green Envy. Now, typically, I stay away from coconut oil on my face. Coconut oil is known to be one of the most comedogenic oils out there, meaning it is known to clog pores. I am very clearly obsessed with coconut oil for my hair. I mean, I talk about it relentlessly, but I do avoid putting it on my face. But when I looked at the ingredients on this product, I didn't see coconut oil listed. It doesn't look like it contains any coconut oil whenever I read the ingredients. What it does have is hydrolyzed collagen, which is good, and it also has hyaluronic acid. Those are both really good for just plumping the skin. Hydrolyzed, again, much like with our hair, means it's a small enough molecule to actually be able to penetrate. So always a good word when you see hydrolyzed, unless it's like hydrolyzed syphilis. Probably would want to stay away from that. This one, like most things out there, has, you guessed it, fragrance, but I don't particularly notice it, and it doesn't seem to irritate my skin. I just like it a lot. It is on the pricey side, especially for a sheet mask. This comes in a pack of 3, so I think next time Sephora has a sale, I'll probably pick up some more, but unless and until that happens, I'll stick with my cheapies. So that is it. Those are some of my favorite masks. Let me know what your favorite masks or mask recipes are in the comments, and maybe I will try them out for myself. Be well, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
That's a nappy-headed hose there, I'm gonna tell you that now.